Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Kindly remove all hats to honor United States Army Air Force First Lieutenant Gervais Tillman, U.S. Air Corps veteran Corporal Alan C. Houle, and joint organist Frank Pellico and soloist Jim Cornelison for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome back inside the UC, where we give you the Ford goaltending matchup tonight, and Corey Crawford is back in the blue paint for Joel Quenneville. And in 8 of his last 10 games, he's given up 2 goals or less. That is part of the reason that the Blackhawks are now, as a team, in the top 10 in the NHL in the goals against average at 2.44 as a team. They haven't been in the top 10 for a long time. They've been in the bottom half for a long stretch. So Corey Crawford has had a nice run here going of late. At the other end, Anton Khudobin, who for the Carolina Hurricanes, they got 30 wins. He's been in the net for half of them. He's been credited with 15 victories so far this season. This will be his 3rd game in a row. And the Canes a little bit challenged offensively. In the last 2 games, he's only given up 3 goals in 80 shots. And his record is 1-1. Chris Lee paired up with Frederic Lacouillet as the referees, the linesman Mark Shuchik and Andy McElman.
And this first period of Blackhawk hockey is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
Sekera challenged by Hossa in the corner. Marian Hossa and Sekera jam up on the boards. Eric Stahl came up with it, could not get it beyond Oduya. Then Hossa's shot is blocked. Hossa gets it back, working towards the middle on his backhand, dropped it. Here's Chalmerson. His shot hit somebody out in front.
Khudobin never saw that puck.
Yes.
He just reacted at the last second, and puck ended up in behind him.
And now he's going to take a face-off.
Well, time now for our Hyundai. What to look for, and you touched on it, Pat, in the open about that real strong game against the St. Louis Blues. You want to build off that outstanding divisional win, and an opportunity for somebody on that bench to take that ice time. You want to make it difficult on Joe Quenneville and his staff to spread that ice time around for missing the greatness of Patrick Kane.
Long shot, it is up off the glass from Skinner. Bounce loose, and Nash. Riley Nash works his way in behind. Seabrook there to meet him, put him right to his knees. And Sharp picked up the loose puck. And it's cleared ahead to Shaw. Hainsey had wanted nothing to do with Michael Hanzus. Wow, the Hawks win the puck. Here's Keith, a long shot. Khudobin kicks it aside. Rebound to the board. Skinner tapped into the middle. Sharp there. Big save by Khudobin. Carolina turnover gave Patrick Sharp a wonderful bid, but Khudobin able to make the stop. Hjalmarsson Going to clear it to center. Canes get right back in, but then a couple of folks collide. And Kruger the other way. Kruger hangs on by in time for Hjalmarsson. He works up to the net. He's centered it. Here's the shot. Hudobin able to make a point-blank save with a bowling stuff attempt. Crawford playing up the boards. Patrick Dwyer pounds it back to the other side. Sheldon Brookbank playing right wing in this game tonight as it opens. And he cleared it out. But back they come. Dwyer gets in, centered it, and Gerby missed the pass. Back come the Hawks. There's David Rundblad into the zone. His second Hawks game. He finds Smith, who shot it wide. Good setup there by Rundblad, but Smith failed to hit the net. Now the Canes will avoid an icing whistle. They say that could have been played by Leddy, so he's got to work his way ahead. Rundblad moved it for Regan. The Canes clear it to center. Let's dump it back in as they're looking to change. Well, Carolina's Sekera having his best year ever. Andre Sekera has 11 goals, 41 points, the most he's ever had in the NHL. That rush got jammed up. He'll dump it. And Oduya finds it around, but 7 to steal. Trying to center, came loose in front. And nobody could get any wood on it for Carolina. Versteeg coming out. Got it to Oduya, putting it deep. Hainsey, checked by Versteeg, and support there from Falk. The puck cleared up the board. And the Canes will get out. Semen. Out it escaping. Now Justin Falk waiting for the Canes to complete a change. That's a Canes change, and here they come. Hainsey dumped it. Oduya retrieved it. And Seabrook let his pass deflect back to the center ice area. Here's Michael Hanzus, who's not scored a goal in 27 games. A long pass from Seabrook, missing Shaw.
Congratulations to Michael Hanzus for playing his 1,000th game in that win against a team that he knows very well when he broke into the National Hockey League as a rookie with the St. Louis Blues.
Now Seabrook. Look ahead to Shaw. Andrew Shaw, who has goals in back-to-back games. Now able to get it to the net with a whack, but Hudobin sticks it aside. And Harrison's clearing attempt held in. Leddy a tip and a save. Hudobin on a nice redirect. Sharp. Patrick Sharp fired it off the side of the net. It deflects up and out of play for a whistle.
Well, a couple of great chances for Patrick Sharp. He's right in the middle of the ice. Puck's going to find him. And a big-time stop from Hudobin right there on Sharp's earlier shift. And then he comes right back out, Pat, and look at him wide open in front of the net. And a beautiful stop there from Anton Hudobin on Patrick Sharp, who we know is a real streaky scorer, and right now is just really in a tough spot right now. Only scoring 1 goal in his last, what is it, Pat, 12 games now?
14.
Yeah, 14 now.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but the chances are there. I mean, you get 2 chances like this at some point. You know, for Patrick Sharp, he's going to get 3 in 2 games or 5 in 3. I mean, that's just the way that it's been. If you're not getting any chances, you'd be worried. But 2, I mean, really 2 A+ chances in back-to-back shifts for Patrick Sharp.
And as the play's gone on here the last 14 games, yes, he's only converted 1 himself, but he's got 13 points. So the production's been there, just not the lamplighting that he loves and wants to have become a bigger part of his production here in the next week or 2.
And with the injuries, Saad, Kane, no Bickle tonight. Patrick Sharp is going to get hot. He's going to need to have one of those streaks there. And we all know he's capable of doing it because that's how he started the regular season, where he only had 1 in his first 11 games, I believe. And now he's in one of those long streaks where he can't buy one.
And let's just expand upon the breaking news you told us about right at the start tonight in terms of Saad and Bickle. Day-to-day lower body is the way the Hawks are putting it. Here's Taves with a shot. Blocked in front by Falk. And now the Canes able to get out. Hjalmarsson makes a direct pass. It was at the feet of Versteeg, but he got it out. Falk steps right back in, put it across. Eric Stahl's blast is blocked by Hjalmarsson. Now Jordan Stahl. It escaped him, and Hjalmarsson moved it back to the Carolina end. His pass didn't work out. And Seabrook bounced it ahead for Brookbank.
Nice job there by Sheldon Brookbank there, Pat. Before he got the puck, he took a quick look to see if anybody was coming there, and you know how much time he had. It's a heads-up play there from the converted defenseman playing forward tonight.
And he chases the chip here. Grabbed in the corner by Nash. For Sheldon Brookbank, by the way, he's in the Hawks lineup for the 3rd straight game. And the last time that happened for him was in early December. But a whistle here, but a guy everybody on this team loves, showing his versatility again tonight.
Welcome back to the United Center up at press level. I'm Tracy Myers for CSN Chicago.com. Jonathan Toews has scored 8 goals since returning from the Olympics. What's one reason for more production? He said the right mindset. And in our Geico quote, Toews said, "I'm just thinking more like a goal scorer, going to those areas where I know pucks will be kind of just sitting there. There are always things I can do to produce more than I am right now." Pat Nettie, back to you.
Well, thank you very much, Tracy. And mention that play by Sheldon Brookbank. I want to go back to our Xfinity Telstra. Here's the puck, right? And all you young hockey players out there, the puck is coming up here. But look at the head of Sheldon Brookbank through this whole play. He's looking over his shoulder to see if somebody's coming. Now, he does a great job of picking up, but watch his head again. Look at, as he's going to catch that puck, he looks up a couple of times to know what the outlet is for him once he gets that puck. If he's just so worried about where that puck is coming from, he has no idea what's going on in the ice. Pat, how often do we talk about it on the broadcast? Know what you're going to do before you get the puck, and that's a perfect example. Sheldon Brookbank doing it extremely well as a winger.
In an unfamiliar position.
Absolutely.
But yeah, great pickup by you and our terrific CSN crew here from Program Productions of the UC, which is why it's so much fun to do these games out of here. There is Jordan Stahl here, put it into Chicago ice. Not going to stay there long as Hossa dropped it to Versteeg. Chris Versteeg looks towards Toews. It just bounced over his stick. And Sekera moved it ahead. Jordan Stahl to his older brother Eric. Carolina kept a good stick by Hjalmarsson right at the blue line. Now Toews. By the way, Tracy talking about that quote that he gave her yesterday. I think I can produce more than I am. Well, he's got 8 goals in 9 games. You know, coming into the action tonight. So he's been spectacular as per usual. Hanzus' shot deflecting high and wide.
That's why he is who he is, Pat.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's
no doubt.
That's why he is one of the best two-way players in the entire National Hockey League.
Gerby got rid of Seabrook. He looks to center one. It jumped across for Hainsey. Now Dwyer throws it down low. Keith jammed it loose. And a good play by Shaw, allowing Hanzus to get up the ice. He feeds Sharp. Going to get around to check. Driving, centering, and it never quite connected with Hanzus. And Gerby the other way.
Boy, Patrick Sharp's got an unbelievable jump in his step right now. Every time he's on the ice, Pat, it's finding him. And you mentioned Shaw made a great play to lift up the stick down low, and then Hanzus got it to him. But Patrick Sharp just with a little bounce in that giddy up there.
Here's Ben Smith chasing in.
I didn't realize you could bounce some giddy up, but that's one of the new 900 words in the Webster Dictionary.
Oh, your copyright lawyer here. Now a keep attempt by Nash. He couldn't settle it down. Regan comes back for Chicago and sends it deep. Jeremy Morin in on the forecheck, couldn't quite get there, and puck cleared back into Chicago territory. To be played by Duncan Keith, still in the 4th position in assists in the entire NHL, but he turned it over. This shot went wide. And Regan looks for Kruger, who's well covered. Regan steals the centering attempt, and now the Hawks come away. Brookbank. Oh, he tried to dump it in and hit the official, though. And now the Canes, Lyles. Sends it back into Chicago ice. Kruger rolled it to center. Bollig put it in there. And then Bollig looking to deliver a blow. In the last 9 games Bollig's played, he's got 35 hits. So for a while, that part of his game was just sort of getting away from him, but he seems to have recommitted to being a very physical presence on a nightly basis. And the Hawks are going to get a power play here as they get their 6th attacker on with Crawford off to the bench. Rundblad, and the whistle goes, and the Hawks will head to the power play at the halfway point of the first period. Carolina doesn't have a shot on goal yet. Patrick Sharp has 2 or 3 in a centering attempt here that didn't quite connect with Hanzus. A reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, look forward to Miller Time later in the game tonight. It'll be brought to you by Miller Lite.
Well, join Tommy Hawk at the Life Source Spring Blood Drive on Saturday, March the 22nd from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Westin O'Hare in Rosemont or Doubletree in Oak Brook. That's tomorrow. Or is that Sunday, 22nd? Oh, that's tomorrow, the 22nd. All right, yeah. Donors will have the opportunity for a chance to win Blackhawk playoff tickets and sign Blackhawks memorabilia. Visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com for more info.
All right, the Hawks power play with Eric Stahl off for a trip. And the Hawks power play starting to get going now. 4 goals the last 3 games. They're 4 out of 9 in the last few outings. Here comes Hossa. Sharp going wide. Sekera took it off his stick. And Jordan Stahl got rid of it. The Hurricanes have only allowed 1 goal to be scored on them at 14 times short. That's over 5 games. And Keith now starts away. Taves. His pass bounced away from Hossa. Sekera rolled it right through his own blue paint. Now it bounced loose and Gerby comes out. In again, Sharp. Gerby trying to stick handle away. Now lets it go. Whoop, save by Crawford. His first challenge of the game, which he answers.
Well, that puck took a funny bounce, Pat, off of one of the stanchions back in the Carolina Hurricane zone, and then Nathan Gerby was off to the races. But Patrick Sharp did a great job of recovering as a forward, skating backwards as a defenseman on the power play, and kept the shot to the outside. And welcome to the game, Corey Crawford, after making an acrobatic glove save there off the stick of Nathan Gerby.
Now Seabrook and Leddy will be the point men as Leddy gets into the zone. Dropped it to Morin. Jeremy Morin gets the power play time in his first game back. Smith had it roll away. Now Versteeg to the corner. Dropped it back to Leddy. Looks across to Seabrook. Smith to the front of the net. Here's Versteeg, long blast, kicked away Hudobin. Rebound to the Canes. And a nice keep by Leddy to Seabrook, shooting. And a save by Hudobin, who's able to locate a bouncing puck and cover.
Oh, good job there from Ben Smith again, Pat, standing in front of the net. Just doing a really solid job there of mirroring the puck in front of the net and, you know, having an opportunity to be in front and maybe create a second or a third chance opportunity. That's such an important part of creating offensive opportunities, and Ben Smith having a solid season for the Hawks in a lot of different roles.
No time for one more Chicago power play rush. Hossa gets the line. Taken down along the boards by Malhotra. And that's going to finish the Chicago man advantage. But now both teams are at full strength. Hossa got 10 goals the last 19 games that he's played in. That checked here. And Eric Stahl just out of the box. Shot it in. Nice play from Crawford. And the Hawks get away. Regan gets the line to Kruger. He looks towards Bollig, but the pass never connected.
Good back check there from Semin.
Did you say that because it's so rare that you get a chance to say that?
He's one guy on this team that certainly has that ability to have one time on his stick and bury the puck offensively. I'm talking to Ron Francis, Hockey Hall of Famer, and wears many hats for the Carolina Hurricanes in their organization. Simmons, a guy that has been pretty consistent in all areas, and they need a little bit more of that from a lot more players, including their captain, Eric Stahl, who's had a really tough year in a lot of different areas.
Nobody on the left side for Keith to try to find him. He just fires it off the glass and will take an icing call. But Duncan Keith, that's got to be a hopeless feeling. We'd get the puck behind your own net with a little pressure. You look to really where you want to go with it. There are no friendly sweaters in the neighborhood.
That's where the voices in your head say, hey, where'd everybody go?
Yeah, well, but he did the right thing. I mean, rather take a whistle than a turnover.
Yeah, right. Nothing soft. Don't want to make any soft plays. Sure that puck exits the zone.
Dunn comes in here with a 3-game point streak. He's got 2 goals and 2 assists over his last 3 in a row.
Nice to see him get those back-to-back goals, Pat, in Philadelphia and here the other night against the St. Louis Blues. And he'd gone, 30 games, I think you had mentioned, in Philadelphia before he finally got that 4th goal, and he gets another one on a power play. But it's Kirk Muller, the head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, longtime National Hockey Leaguer, was drafted 2nd overall back in the 1984 NHL draft, right after the great Mario Lemieux. And it was all downhill from there for the rest of the guys that were drafted after that.
Who was next?
Some old guy now, that's all I know.
Well, I think he just finished talking a second ago. Well, that was a momentous day for a local boy getting drafted by his hometown team that he grew up loving, and into the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame after a very fine NHL playing career. Here's Taves leading the Hawks rush. Versteeg looks to center, too hot to handle for Hossa. And the Canes now spin back into their own end. Zakara coming out. Throws it deep. Alford played it to the boards. Held in there by Loktianov. In behind Dwyer. Trying to wrap around. Didn't get all the way around the post. And now Morin unable to clear it. Hainsey across to Falk. His long wrist shot. Crawford the save. Gave a rebound. They couldn't get it settled down. Loktianov dropped it back. Here's Falk. Looking back towards Hainsey, but the pass went out of the zone.
Not a good decision there at all by Justin Falk. Couple of good chances there, Pat. Last sequence in front of Corey Crawford. Carolina credited with 2 shots on goal. Best sequence offensively to them so far in this game.
Loktianov is going to take a whistle here. I should say Hudobin is going to take a whistle with 4.5 to go in a scoreless first. The Hawks have outshot the Canes 10-3 so far.
We'll win the chance to watch warm-ups from the penalty box, courtesy of Jewel Osco. Text Jewel to BHawks. That's 242-957. Enter your child, age 6 to 15, into the Jewel View from the penalty box sweepstakes. Your child will win 4 100-level game tickets, admission for 4 into the penalty box during warm-ups, and a commemorative photo and recognition on the Blackhawks scoreboard. Well, time now for our Illinois Lottery Anything's Possible statistic. And Pat, you were mentioning about Duncan Keith, and you talk about some fine company there. Not only unbelievable hockey players, but some great human beings as well. Doug Wilson and Chris Chelios, and Duncan Keith sitting squarely on the 50 assist number to this point in the season. You mentioned, Pat, 4th right now in the National Hockey League, and all players.
Yeah.
He's been there for the last 40 games. It's been amazing.
Sharp to Keith. And his 50 assists have happened in the first 69 games that he's played this year. So an opportunity to get a few more before the regular season expires. The Canes get this puck into the zone. Here's a wrist shot and a save by Crawford on Tlusty.
It's got to be tough. These are the type of games, Pat, for a goaltender, Corey Crawford, where you go, but he went the first 6-7 minutes without 8 minutes without a shot on goal, and you get the chance for Gerby there, and then Nothing happens for a period of time, and all of a sudden you get 2 shots on right away. Joe Quenneville loves that because his team's got the puck. They're playing well defensively. But very tough for a goaltender to stay in that moment when you're not seeing a lot of action. It's hard not to drift. It's hard not to have that concentration not there. But so far, so good for Corey Crawford.
Canes win the draw, but they could not keep it in with Sekera, who then dumped it. Chalmerson. Good pass to Taves. And he finds a bank pass for Hossa. Here he comes to the net. Hossa waiting, finds Taves right in. Oh, and he couldn't quite finish the backhand. And finally the Canes able to clear their zone. Now Semin gets in, but Jordan Stahl's leg was up off the ice, and that's an offside play.
2 great passes out of the zone from our Xfinity telestrator. Quick pass, and then the quick pass off the boards into Marian Hossa. Support, can't make a direct pass, use the boards, and then move the puck, move yourself. All you young hockey players out there, once you move that puck, don't stand and watch it. Get involved in the play, and a great exit out of defensive zone for the Blackhawks there.
Now Keith will ring it around. Brookbank tapped it out. Seabrook flipped it to the Carolina blue line. And Nash tapped it right back in there. Lindholm to the corner, looking to center, picked off Bolig. And then Seabrook looks to Kruger. He wants Bolig a hoist pass. Bolig able to settle it down. Out to center, Hudobin blocked the pass. And now the Canes start back.
Nice little alley-oop there from Kruger.
Yeah.
On the tape of Brandon Bolig. I don't know how much basketball Marcus Kruger played in Sweden, but
here's a Smith chasing one down. Helped by Morin. A 4-man battle. Smith came up with it, then Jeremy Morin dropped it in behind Regan. Fights his way loose to the board. Left it for Smith. And Smith in his last 3 games has 2 goals and an assist. The Canes look to clear, and Lokpianov rolled it out of there.
He's been their best forward here, Lokpianov, Pat. Every time he's been on the ice, the puck has found him, whether in the defensive zone, offensive zone. A couple of stops with L.A. and New Jersey.
Semin stripped Regan. And Jordan Stahl's dumping attempt winds up out of play.
Well, speaking of alley-oops, Monday, the Bulls are going to take on the Pacers right here at the United Center. Coverage starts at 6:30 with McDonald's Bulls pregame live. You get Neil, you get Stacy, you get Stacy, you get Neil. Bulls Pacers, Monday, 6:30. You know where, right here, Comcast Sportsnet.
Hey, before we finish this first period, a quick shout out from both of us to a great friend of ours. Our buddy from Anheuser-Busch, Brett Feather, is celebrating a birthday today. A very notable birthday that we'll just let you guess, because I don't think he wants us to say it. Here comes Taves into the zone. A drop pass. O'Duya couldn't catch it cleanly. It was not a wheelhouse pass anyway, but now the Hawks have drawn a whistle.
Yeah, and they're going to get a power play partner. That errant pass worked out well for the Blackhawks because Alexander Semin takes a penalty, and the referee Freddie Lacouillet makes the call on Alexander Semin. Hawks had something going here. That pass was behind Johnny O'Duya, and I thought on that look there, Pat, I thought live it looked like a penalty, but on the replay it looked like he actually crossed sticks. He never even got, unless he got his hands a little bit, but it looked like the Hawks caught a break there, and a late power play here in the first.
Carolina penalty number 28-7. Resulting in a Blackhawks power play.
All right, Hossa right up the middle. Left it for Taves. Drop pass was red, but Keith a good keep. Canes, though, retrieve, and we get down to the final minute now of the first period. Hossa for Taves. He drives. Now Shaw back to the front of the net. Here's Keith. Looks towards Hossa. Shaw tried to center, missed Taves. It's kept in by Sharp. Goes to the middle. His long shot is off a skate. And a four-man battle in behind. Kirby tried to clear and did get it out. He's got to hurry and did well to get it away from Jordan Stahl. Here's Sharp into the zone with Taves and net looking for it. The pass tipped to Shaw. Shoulder save. Hudobin. Rebound is cleared away. Anton Hudobin has been really good on several Blackhawks scoring opportunities tonight, including in the final seconds against Shaw and the Hawks.
Well, the quick transition through the middle of the ice. Duncan Keith with the good play, and then all of a sudden the pass from Sharp trying to look for Taves going to the net, and Shaw hanging around the net right off the left shoulder of the Carolina Hurricane netminder.
Blackhawks outshoot the Canes 11-4 in the opening 20 minutes tonight. With some solid work from Anton Hudobin has kept his team close. Very limited offense for Carolina in the opening 20 this evening.
Welcome back to the United Center. No scores. We get ready for the second period. All Blackhawk fans, remember to bring your Blue Cross and Blue Shield card to all Blackhawk home games for a chance to be a part of the Blue Cross upgrade experience. Carry the card that gives you benefits wherever you are. Blue Cross. Hello, through it all. Can they see us? Technology.
Just hoping you were paying attention. Oh, wait. You'll be back in a second.
It's going to be a little longer than that.
Now there's happy humans right there. Her phone's blowing up. All her buddies are saying, you're on TV.
How's that ice cream?
Well, a real solid opening 20 for the home team tonight, but not able to solve Anton Hudobin, so we're scoreless getting into the second period. The Carolina Hurricanes have really not been any good on the road at all. They're 3 games under 500 away from home, and Kurt Muller's team has 30 points on the road. There's only 4 teams in the league that have fewer road points than the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, they did come up with a nice win the other night against a playoff team, or a playoff bubble team in Columbus. So it was a nice win for them, but points on the road have been hard to come by for the Canes.
And the second period of Blackhawk hockey is brought to you by Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers.
A few seconds of power play time remaining for the Hawks as we start the second, and Taves takes a look back to Keith. Looking for a lane. He's going to go to Seabrook. Backdoor is Taves. The pass goes to Keith. He looks to Taves, but he had sort of his back to the net as the puck arrived, so couldn't get it moving forward, and it's cleared back into the Hawks zone. The Carolina penalty over, and both teams at full strength. Marian Hossa gets the line, but Versteeg was in there offside.
I got a quick shout out here to Ashley Reynolds, who is 8 years old and lives in Bolingbrook, is a huge Jonathan Taves fan. So hello to Ashley Reynolds out there in Bolingbrook. Got a chance to meet her dad David on a airplane ride this morning. So I'd like to thank the Reynolds family for being big Blackhawk fans.
Now Justin Falk is back for Carolina. Pressured by Kruger. He turned it. Oh, Brookbank was open in front, but the pass well away from him. And now Jordan Stahl backhands it out. Golding threw it in there, and Eric Stahl backed it back into Chicago territory.
Natural center iceman, but playing the left side with his brother.
Chasing in on Hainsey, knocked him down. And Eric Stahl turned it over. There's Bowling. He tried to feed Shaw. Took a whack at Hudobin with a left pad. Will then smother. Andrew Shaw with the goals in back-to-back games, and he's had a couple of real nice opportunities here tonight.
Well, you're going to get those opportunities, partner, if you go to the net. You go to those traffic areas, and Andrew Shaw, you see the numbers over the course of the last 7 games. The want-to's got to be there if you want to get to those areas, and Andrew Shaw certainly has no hesitation to do that.
Right now the Canes look to move ahead, but a pass missing Clousty, and he gets there to save icing. Yuri Clousty tried to center it, didn't connect with Nash. Here's a long flip shot and a save by Crawford in traffic. Might have actually changed direction slightly, but Lyles got it to the net.
Crawford was able to see this the whole way. Looking for a little bit of a redirect was Riley Nash.
You know, we were talking about Corey Crawford earlier tonight. At a real nice run of solid play that he's put together. In his last 19 decisions, he's 10-5-4, so only 5 regulation losses in the last 19 games, and only 36 goals against in 19 games. So you really like those numbers with the postseason right around the corner.
Yeah, and I think too, Pat, what makes those even more impressive is, and the Hawks haven't been lighting it up offensively.
Yes, sir.
And that's really puts the pressure on the goaltender, on the team defense. So, I mean, those are really impressive numbers that you had mentioned about Corey Crawford.
Canes win a draw. Here's a long shot. Oh, and he didn't see that, but the redirect went wide. Clousty lost it. Nash trying to pry it out. It squirts, though, to Keith. And he very calmly settles things down. Then Smith got bowled over, but the Hawks able to get it out. Here comes Seabrook up on the rush. Trying to center it. Here's a shot by Morin and a save by Hudobin. Brent Seabrook setting the table for Jeremy Morin, but from point blank, he could not elevate over the pad of Hudobin.
Good transition through the middle of the ice, and the good quick pass there from Seabrook to Morin, just not able to get any elevation or getting pressured from behind from Yuri Clousty, and you see Hudobin taking away the bottom of the net. There's Jamie Compound and the assistant coach in the ear of Jeremy Morin.
Sharp in for this draw at the right dot. Michael Handzus, the regular centerman on this line, in his last 2 games, it was 13 and 23 at the faceoff circle. Looks they need to get things going better for him in that department. Here comes Gerby going rink wide. Jordan Stahl looking to drive. Leddy prevented that from happening. And now Stahl. Checked by Leddy. Got back. Here's Falk, long shot off a leg to Shaw. Moved in, and Sharp a breakaway. Patrick Sharp in alone to the back, and he scored! Patrick Sharp sprung by a great pass from Andrew Shaw, and the Hawks on the board.
Well, it was just a matter of time for Patrick Sharp after having 2 A-plus chances. It all starts in a defensive zone and then understanding where to move to. The shot block by Nick Leddy, the great pass from Andrew Shaw. Little forehand, backhand, no chance for Anton Hudobin. And I love this, Pat. The puck is out in front of him. A shooting position keeps the goaltender honest. Not a lot of stick handling. And Patrick Sharp goes upstairs on the Carolina Hurricane goaltender.
And so that goal puts him to his 30th goal of the season. That's the 4th time that the sharpshooter has gotten to pretty elevated status of a 30-goal season.
5 goals for the season scored by Sharp. Decision by Shaw.
Now the draw.
309.
And a penalty coming up as I think Taves took a man down. And the whistle goes, and the Canes will get their first power play. Sorry, I said Taves. It might be Oduya, the culprit.
Chicago number 27, 2 minutes for cross-checking.
Referee Chris Lee calls out the penalty. After taking a 1-0 lead, the Blackhawk penalty kill, which has been ascending quickly in the ranks of the National Hockey League, get an opportunity here.
In the last quarter of a season that the Hawks have played, in other words, the last 20 games, only 7 goals against their PK, 7 out of 75. Now the Canes with a long blast, shoulder save, Crawford. Rebound came free, and they're able to keep it in. Harrison to the middle, left and Loktianov lets it go, and a pad save, Crawford. Now Nash, across it goes, Loktianov. Up it to Skinner, then got it back. Harrison can't find a lane. Nash takes a look. Riley Nash goes down low. Stop attempt denied. As Crawford able to poke check it away. Now Kane loose in front. Loktianov on mishandle. Oh, that cost him what should have been a great scoring chance. And the Hawks eventually get it out of there. 70 for the Carolina power play. Loktianov dropped it back. Hossa got to it first. Hey, Harrison getting organized, and now the Canes start out. Lyle ahead for Eric Stahl. His drop pass picked off. Hossa the other way. And it's cleared the length.
Doing a good job now allowing Carolina to really get that puck down deep. Now a couple of unforced turnovers there. The last one there from Eric Stahl.
There's his younger brother Jordan. He dropped it back. Taken by the Canes. A long shot by Lyles. Good save by Crawford with the right pad. Rebound held in. Sekera couldn't get it through. Semen back in. Made an extra move to the line. They've got to tag back up. Sekera. That is pass stolen by Keith. Hawks penalty over. Both teams at full strength. And now Gerby to Jordan Stahl. Cleared it in. And too much traffic there for anything to happen for Carolina. Rundblad the other way. His second Blackhawks game. Left it for Sharp. Now Hossa takes a look. Sharp's one-timer kicked away. Hudobin. Rundblad kept it in. Taves in deep. Then Taves, Hossa, whose shot is blocked. And the Hurricane Flusty rolled it to center. Sharp pass deflecting up over the boards, and look out in the Hawks bench. Mike Kitchen had to be quick to try to get it out of the way of that one. The Blackhawks able to strike first on a Patrick Sharp breakaway. They've got a 1-goal lead.
Well, enter the Kia Motors Fantastic Sweepstakes for your chance to win a flyaway trip to a Blackhawks game, a framed Blackhawks autographed jersey, or two VIP seats to a Blackhawks game. Visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com to enter. Time now for our Kia drive to the net, and there goes Sharpie, forehand, backhand, the 30th of the year. Beautiful little move, and great pass there from Andrew Shaw.
Sharp tonight has had just under 9 minutes of ice time. He's already had 4 shots on goal and a couple real good scoring chances even before that one was converted. Right now, Keith goes off the glass to Brookbank. And Falk will pound it in. All the way around the boards and out. Both teams scurry to change on the move. And now Taves starts back. He was jammed up at center. Back comes Eric Stahl. He put it to Jordan. Jordan Stahl in behind Semin. Alexander Semin spins it back. A long shot by Belmore, blocked in front. And the Hawks come away. Versteeg. Belmore bumped by Hossa. He took the puck away. Marian Hossa able to get it to Taves in behind. Taves pries it loose on the backhand. Put it to Versteeg. He couldn't make anything happen that time. Now Taves again. Centered it, and Letty tried to join the play. The pass missed, and it might be a breakaway. Semin. The Hossa trying to catch him. Semin cuts it, centered it. The pass missed. Stahl penalty coming up. And now the Hawks will get it. The whistle sound. Well, when Nick Letty jumped into the play, when the pass missed him, trouble was looming.
Well, there's that opportunity, Pat, back at the other end, but there's Nick Letty, and you talked about him jumping in. He's got no support, and you know what he's trying to do. There's an opportunity, but you got to be 110% sure. You can't be 100% sure there. Give up a 2-on-0, and a good penalty there for Jonathan Taves as he was trailing Eric Stahl with that opportunity. It's probably a good break, too, Pat, that puck went more wide towards the Carolina bench than straight ahead, because that forced Alexander Semin to go, more laterally than straight ahead, and that allowed the Blackhawks to get back and put a little bit more pressure on Stahl.
There's Clint Reif, the assistant equipment manager, working on the blade of Corey Crawford that really got jammed up probably on a post. Might have lost a little bit of an edge. He's got one back now with Clint Reif and his utensils. All right, the Hurricanes in the power play looking to get the game tied up. And they win the draw. It's a good face-off team. They're fourth best in the league in terms of total team face-off. Harrison along wrister blocked. Hanzus. Oh, and a clearing attempt didn't get out from Kruger. Oktianov checked on the boards. Seabrook jammed it loose. Hanzus turned it over. Loktianov rings it around. Harrison couldn't catch up with it. All right, now the Canes throw it in. Chalmerson, nice pass to Smith. And he finds Hossa, one man to beat, but a good stick at the line from Nash.
Good job there for a young forward. Skated backwards on Marian Hossa, but you're right, Pat. You called it. Chalmerson with a beautiful outlet pass there to Smith, and then great support by Hossa to get the pass.
Hawks have changed him up twice in the first minute of this PK. Well, the initial unit out there, and Kruger able to send it the other way. And another change. So 3 changes in a minute 15. You'll love to see that. Here's Eric Stahl moving in. And back, Sekera goes across. Falk. A long wrist shot and a save by Crawford. Rebound. Hacked right through the blue paint. Now Semin trying to center a shot. Crawford the save. He didn't know he had it. Jordan Stahl had him point blank with a one-timer from a pass from the boards. And Stahl denied by Crawford's best save of the game.
Boy, a real quick developing play right in front of the net, and there's that great reactionary save from Corey Crawford off the stick of Jordan Stahl. Quick little shot off the post in behind, and it back under Corey Crawford, and then he gets pitchforked from Jordan Stahl, looking for that puck in behind.
Oh, Jordan Stahl has actually been rather productive of late. 3 goals, 6 assists over his last 7 games. He was able to win this draw to 7. Eddie mentioned his earlier older brother Eric, who's right in Crawford's kitchen there, but can't redirect or screen. But Eric's really had a tough time. He leads their team in scoring with 52 points, but only 5 of those in the last 10 games. And I thought the initial save was made by Crawford, but In fact, our great crew just showed you that it was the goalpost that bailed him out on that Jordan Staal attempt. Falk's one-timer, blocked by a sliding Handzus. And the Canes will have to chase back.
Look, those posts in Philadelphia, partner, got to work out there when the Hawks were in Philadelphia. 6 or 7 posts in that game between the two teams.
Olmerson put it up the boards. Now the Hawks penalty over both teams full strength. Keith comes out. Taves gets the line. Taves spins to his forehand. Dropped it back for Stieg. Has to throw it in deep.
Good play there. Didn't have anybody open. Instead of trying to make a hope play or a high-risk play, Christopher Stieg made the right play there. Just get the puck in deep, start over.
Sharp. Pass picked off. Got to the halfway point of the second period. After a real solid opening 20 for the Hawks, the Canes have been able to get the puck to the net rather often here in the second period. 9 shots they've had the first 11 minutes. Bouncing puck is chased down by Leddy. Then Regan has some skating room.
Good reception too, Pat. That wasn't a very good pass from Nick Leddy. He was able to stop it with his skate.
Regan tried a shot that was blocked. Harrison cleared the zone. Here's Jeremy Morin. Morin gets the line. His shot is blocked to Keith. They jam it up. It's Morin dropping it back to Smith. Tees it up. Fires. And a redirect. Went off a leg. Came loose in behind Morin. Couldn't get it out in front. And the Canes, Gerby cleared the zone. Jeremy Morin. The puck jumped loose, and now Belmore cleared it ahead. Centering attempt broken up. Bluestein couldn't get it settled down. Seabrook up the board to Shaw, then Sharp. Patrick Sharp lost it as he got to the line. That's going to be an offside play with 8 minutes remaining in the second period. Patrick Sharp's goal, the only one so far tonight.
Oh, from our Xfinity telestrator, Duncan Keith is going to get this puck. And when you see a defenseman coming in like this, somebody has to be responsible. And watch the play here from Ben Smith, realizing that he has to fill in for the defenseman. You talk about a smart player. Look at Ben Smith. That's Duncan Keith. I got to stay out. I can't go in and think about the offense. Look who ends up getting the puck. It's Ben Smith. And he gets a good chance. Never gets to the goaltender. But you do things the right way, you usually reward it. And that's why, Pat, I believe, is that the bungee cord from Joel Quenneville has gotten longer for Ben Smith, because he was one of those guys that was on a really short leash for a long period of time. But when you play as well as he has, the confidence will come from the coach. The coach can talk to you. He can critique you. He can show you the video. And at the end of the day, you want an opportunity, and Ben Smith's earned that. And that's a small dose of what he does on a nightly basis. That's a real smart play there by a real heady hockey player.
And of all those, here's a bad bounce in front of drive. Oh, fired high by Nash. A fortunate bounce for the Canes, but Nash missed the net.
He really drifted that puck, too. He's going to have some trouble here.
He's going to get beaten to the puck by Sharp. A shot. He lifted it up too high. It goes out of play.
Well, at one end, it was Riley Nash, and at the other end, the lone goal scorer of the game, Patrick Sharp. It just absolutely shot out of a cannon. And, yeah, not a great angle. But that goes off the goaltender because the faceoff stays inside. So another shot on goal for Patrick Sharp.
Got Michael Lyles. Hold it up the boards. Canes can't get anywhere with it, and now Oduya towards Taves. He's grabbed by Jordan Staal. 7 back in. kicked it loose. Semin stick tied up, though. Nice play by Oduya and Hossa. They both prevented what could have been a dangerous chance from Semin. He couldn't get the stick free. Now they keep it in. And Jordan Stahl. Semin missed it. Oh, it bounced to Semin. He cuts to the net. Centered it, a shot. Oh, Crawford! What a kick save to his left. A great stop by the Carolina captain, who had him one-on-one close range. Back comes Taves the other way. Taves trying to get to the middle, could not against Sekera.
What a move there from Semin, Pat. He made a couple moves on that shift and set up Stahl to the left, and that is a huge stop from Crawford.
Well, Sekera. That is pass deflects. And it's picked up by Leddy. Right now, the Canes. Oaktianov had it taken away. Morin in for Smith. Hawks are going to get a power play after a Carolina penalty. Then Morin delivered a check. The Canes aren't happy with that. And a gathering on the boards. Well, the initial call was going to be against Carolina. It didn't look like certainly that Morin did anything wrong there. Just delivered a check while the puck was still alive. So see what the officials will come up with here. We'll tell you when we come back. 5.5 remaining in the second period. The Hawks are in front in part because of a great stop from Corey Crawford. Look at that on the Carolina captain, Eric Stahl.
Time now for our GMC professional grade save. That was the first shot of the game, like 9 minutes in. Nathan Gerby on Corey Crawford. There's a great chance of Jordan Stahl, the second chance after the rebound, but this one, the best one of the night off of Eric Stahl, off the terrific play there from former Capital forward Alexander Semin. The Hawks will get an opportunity, as you mentioned, Pat. Only one penalty there. Jay Harrison, and Hawks on the power play.
Pressured here, and needs a little help from Taves. Hossa with a little room, gets the line. Now Marian Hossa, helped by Andrew Shaw. Out to Patrick Sharp, then Duncan Keith. Long slap shot, goes just wide. Rebound off the inboards. Taves trying, or I should say Hossa tried to tuck it home, but not quite. And it's cleared.
Well, that shot by Duncan Keith. Lots of net front presence. Andrew Shaw getting a new twig. They're standing right in front of the net, and Gilbin never saw that shot from Keith.
A minute remains on the Chicago power play. Keith ahead for Versteeg. He goes across to Keith, who fires. Good save, Hudobin. Rebound cleared by Falk.
One thing about Hudobin, he takes up a lot of space. It's going to be a penalty here, Pat.
Yes.
Going to be a slash behind the play. And the way Jonathan Taves is acting, it's going to be on him. Let's go. Well, after that save, Pat, and I was mentioning about Hudobin, watch Jonathan Taves. He's going to try to keep this play alive. Wow.
That's a slashing penalty? Wow,
I call that a half a slash.
Well,
but the one thing about Hudobin, I mean, he plays big, and he really is an aggressive goaltender. Real good pickup for Carolina. And you can argue he's become the #1 goaltender ahead of Cam Ward.
Yeah. He's been hurt a couple times this year, Ward. Here comes Eric Stahl in. 4 skaters aside. Hainsey had it roll away. Now here's Versteeg racing the other way. Cut off by Ron Hainsey. And now the Hurricanes. Eric Stahl couldn't quite get there. Here's Nick Leddy. Hitting the Carolina line. Centered it for Steve right, and he scores! Boy, the Hurricanes just standing around doing nothing. Nick Leddy, a good pass right on Chris Versteeg's tape. He had time to take a look, and he snapped it to the middle of the net. And Versteeg, who didn't have a goal in his last 8 games, doubles the Hawks' lead.
This all starts back in the Blackhawks zone here, Pat. This is Nick Leddy. We talked about the confidence of Nick Leddy this year of getting the puck and carrying the mail. Lots of time to the outside, but his head is up the whole way and just makes an absolutely perfect pass. Head up, head up. Defender moves his stick, Hainsey, and that opens up the passing lane. And high fives all around. And that's up to about 75, partner. Oh, what a pass, though, from Nick Leddy. Beautiful pass.
So now the Hurricanes on a power play. That goal coming right after a penalty expired. So Carolina with power play hockey. And they dump it in. Chalmerson. Pressured by Loktianov, who takes it away. Keith, good play to Hanzus. Sekera back up the ice. Keith to the corner against Harrison. Put it around the boards. Picked up by Smith with plenty of time. Oh, he failed to get it out. Sekera, good keep. Now Sekera walks to the middle, then left it for Nash. Sekera's one-timer, tip, never got to the net. Rebound, all good, save by Crawford. The Canes want him with a point-blank chance there. Now it's cleared back to Harrison. Tipped it in deep. Chalmerson rolled it loose to Hossa. Here come the Hawks. Their penalty now over. Both teams at full strength. Hossa put it to Keith. He waits. He shoots. Both goalposts. I think they hit both goalposts with that shot from Duncan Keith, who dove into the stick side, and it went right across the goal line.
Boy, what an outstanding pass. What an outstanding play from Marian Hossa. Off the far post, Pat, and back out the other side.
Yeah, sorry, I thought it hit both, but
on that replay, I couldn't tell if it did, Pat. I mean, from that look there, it looked like from that one, it looked like it just hit the one.
Yeah, I think it did, as it turned out, but whatever it was within an inch or two of adding another. Sharp's attempt up high, picked up now by Falk. A keep by Sharp. And he had it taken away. Talusti going wide. Pulled the trigger, kicked away by Crawford. Hainsey put it across. Here's a long wrist shot. Blockered aside by Crawford. And Ron Hainsey put it across to Justin Falk. The Canes get it into the zone. Jordan Stahl. Hold it in deep. Now it's dug out by Semin. Trying to dance on Taves. That didn't work out very well for him. Jonathan Taves. Helped here by Sharp. He overskates a bouncer. Sekera the other way. Ahead for Jordan Stahl. He tried to set a good stick. Brookbank. As Semin was waiting for that pass that never connected with him.
Hawks in the middle of a slow change there, and Brookbank picked it up, Pat, and he came all the way back to play his more natural position, but he's playing as a winger out there, and that was a huge play.
Eric Stahl centers the chance to score. Semin set up by Eric Stahl, who made a perfect pass right to the wheelhouse of Alexander Semin, and the Hawks lead is cut in half. That's the 20th goal of the year for Semin. And 40th point.
Pat, I just made mention of the change, right? When the Hawks are in the middle of a change with the Brookbank, watch what happens. And then look what all this open ice happens here for Carolina. Slow change. 2 Blackhawk players go, and then the pass from Stahl, and no No hesitation at all by Semin. But that's in that situation, Pat. You can't change there. Patrick Sharp and Brent Seabrook both went for a change. When you have two players going off when it's a long change, more times than not, you're going to give up an opportunity when the puck isn't passed, just over the red line area.
Oh, here's a good save by Crawford on a shot that went through a couple of bodies. Now they try again. Harrison put it up high and wide. Kane's coming now. Here's Belmore, shot blocked by Kruger. Now the Hawks keep. There's it back into Hurricane territory, but the second period is going to come to an end. And the Blackhawks in period 2 had 9 shots. Their total is 20. The Hurricanes had 14. Their total is 18 through 40 minutes of play. Well, the game was scoreless until early in the second when Patrick Sharp was sent on a breakaway by Andrew Shaw and put the Hawks out in front. That was added to on Chris Versteeg, set up beautifully by Leddy. But the Hurricanes just got one back a moment ago. Semin snapped it by the glove of Crawford. And the back to downtown Chicago and inside the United Center. The Hawks will take a 1-goal lead into the third period. We get a chance to talk to assistant coach Jamie Compon for a second. James, the first period seemed to be a great one for your team. Carolina had some pretty good opportunities in the second. What sort of things did you guys talk about to try to turn the fortunes back in your favor here in the third?
Well, it's all our own doing. You got to own the blue lines. The biggest thing, our problem is we didn't make their D turn. We got into trouble when we didn't make their D turn. We got to play a 200-foot game. They eliminate time and space like no other team we've seen. They press. We got to be available. We got to come back to help, and we got to advance the puck. We can't go back with the puck because that's playing right into their game.
Hey, Jamie, I'd like to ask you about Ben Smith, a guy that's very versatile for you. He's been playing in every situation. Can you talk about where his game has really evolved here, maybe over the course of the last 30 games?
Well, Benny's really been a student of the game. He's really, it's credit to him on how hard he's worked and how he's fit in. He's really done a great job with the Krug and Bowler line there. They've been an unbelievable checking line for us throughout the season. They elevated him the one game to put him up front and center, and he's a responsible guy. We know what he can do. We know what he's capable of, and he's good on both ends of the ice, and especially in our own end. He knows his responsibilities, and he takes pride in it.
Hey, James, for the next couple of weeks, obviously Patrick Kane not available. How have you liked, particularly on the power plays? I mean, he was the guy that handled most of your entries. How have you liked it tonight without him around?
Well, you know what? We fumbled a few entries that we weren't clean at. We need speed through that neutral zone. Obviously, Host and Johnny are great players, and they'll be able to pick up the slack for Kaner.
All right, good luck here in the third. Appreciate a couple minutes.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you.
We always appreciate very much the Blackhawks Media Relations Department for setting up the coaches' interviews, whether it's Mike Kitchen or Jamie Compon, so we certainly appreciate that effort. It's good to get a little insight there, partner, on what's gone on or what's coming. And this third period of Blackhawk Hockey is brought to you by Chevy and Chevy Drives, Chicago.com.
Taves for Hossa. Looking back toward the middle, but Taves well covered, and now Versteeg takes over. Keith is going to wait for a change to be completed. But his pass didn't work, and the Canes step in. Here's a shot handled by Crawford's blocker, and Bolig the carom. Kruger bounced it back the other way. Well, they battle away on the boards, and Bolig couldn't pry it free right away. The Canes clear it out. Seabrook broke his stick on a pass attempt. That's stolen by the Canes. Falk. A good recovery by Shaw, and Duncan Keith being yelled at by his partner. I can't help you. I don't have a cue. And Keith took a check now to centering pass. Open side. Crawford! What a spectacular point-blank save. And the Hawks will be short-handed after a penalty, but the entire sequence started with Brent Seabrook trying to make his pass, and his stick exploded on him.
Well, there's Duncan Keith knowing that he can't move the puck, and Carolina recognized that. Gerby takes it away, takes it to the front of the net, and watch this opportunity right there for Patrick Dwyer. What a stop. Huge stop there from Corey Crawford. You know, Dunk wanted to get that puck to Seabrook, but then once he couldn't, Pat, he didn't want to move it. I mean, he didn't want to, he didn't want to just throw it for the sake of throwing it.
So one of the best PK guys for the Blackhawks has to sit for this Hurricane power play, which is nothing out of 3 tonight, but they've gotten the puck to the net 8 times. Seabrook's clearing attempt is held in. Stahl for Semin, fights toward the middle. Rolled it back, Lyles. Now another penalty's cut out. The Canes just give the puck away so they can have a 2-man advantage for longer. And now the Hawks in a world of hurt, down 2 men for 102 seconds as Hanzus goes off.
Well, the left hand, right there, Pat, right there. And anytime you drop the bottom hand off your stick and reach in, there's a pretty high percentage that it's going to be a penalty. So what an opportunity here for Carolina. Down a goal.
It's Corey Crawford, who made a real big stop right after the Hurricanes scored late in the first to keep his team in front. Just made another good save point blank. You got to figure he'll be tested regularly here at 2-man advantage. Now here's Lyles. Going down low. Skinner gave it back to Lyles. Sends it across along glass, and a save by Crawford. Rebound hopped away. And the Hawks Taves able to get it out. Semin across for Eric Stahl. Trying to work in against Oduya. He did. Turns behind. Stripped of it, but it goes to Semin. Lyles, Semin. Going down low. Lindholm back to Semin. A centering attempt. Blocked out of the midair by Crawford and batted the other way by either Chalmerson or Kruger. And still, the Canes with a 2-man advantage. This rush jammed up. Good work by Taves, and Oduya got it out. 40 left of the 2-man advantage. They dump it. And Skinner missed it on the board. The Canes keep it in. Harrison goes across the blast. Good block. Chalmerson with his stick, and it's out of play.
All right, that is huge there. Great stick. Got to anticipate Kirk Muller, the coach of Carolina, calling a timeout here, Pat. He's got his best power play guys out there. Not much going on. Would anticipate him to call a timeout. But the great stick by Chalmerson, leading with your stick.
And what Eddie speculated would happen has. You see Kirk Muller with a dry erase board out with his #1 power play unit out in front of him.
Pat, I want to go back to the goal, the play by Nick Leddy. And we got a lot of young defensemen out there watching. First off, Nick Leddy's head is up the whole way, right? But I want everybody to keep an eye on 65 White. His stick is mirroring the puck right here. But stop it right here. Now, as soon as the defenseman moves his stick here, where does that pass go? It goes back to where the stick was. And that's what allows the pass from Leddy to Versteeg and end up in the back of the net. So as soon as Hainsey moved his stick out of the passing lane, where'd Nick Leddy go? Right to where the stick happened to be there. Great play, great read from Leddy.
Canes win the draw. Shot, they score! A face-off win winds up on the stick of Semin. And the Hurricanes, who in this game have won close to 60% of the draws. A big face-off win there, and now it's tied.
Well, the advantage of having a right-handed shooter that can get the puck here, Pat, and just walk if you get a face-off win. Advantageous to be a right-handed shot on that side of the ice, and he's able to get that puck there, and not sure if that puck changes directions or not, but the quick release of Alexander Semin.
So still a 1-man advantage for the visitors. For the next 46, Taves wins this draw. Now Semin quickly back up the ice. An extra move of the line. That forced 2 teammates offside. So Semin has both of their goals in the game. Eric Stahl assisting on both of them.
Win that face-off, you dictate the terms, and puck ends up in the back of the net.
very good timeout utilized by the visiting coach Muller, and winds up in the tying goal for the Canes. They'll have one more power play rush here. Sekera made a good pass. Here's Eric Staal. He blasted it up off the glass. The race back the other way. Taves might get there. Taves to the net, short-handed. He scores! Jonathan Taves, a short-handed tally. Eric Staal missed the net at the other end. Nobody could catch up with it, but the captain, it's 3-2.
Well, what anticipation by the captain. Sees this puck go by the net, and everybody gets mesmerized by Carolina. And the same move that Patrick Sharp made, Pat, but it's just to the other side. Little forehand, backhand move. And the Hawks regain the lead. Settles this puck down. Beautiful job there from Taves to be able to knock down that rolling puck. I love the move, but even more impressed to be able to settle that puck down and score that shorty.
The third short-handed goal the captain has scored out of the 28 he's tallied. And a huge one there, putting his team back in front. Now the second Hawks penalty over. So both teams are back at full strength. And the Hawks able to remain in front. And now a penalty coming up as Hanzus took a man down again, Dwyer. So again, the Hawks PK is going to be put to the test. As Hanzus, who just left the box, is going to go right back in.
And one of the guys that kills penalties for Joel Quenneville. Stick around the skates of Dwyer. And you see the reaction there from Michael Hanzus.
Canes back to the power play, and they win another draw. They get Jordan Staal at the front of the net. Eric then dropped it back. Here's stepping a quick shot, or Lyles. Rather, that's handled by Crawford. Kruger and Smith up from the Hawks PK along with Hjalmarsson and Keith. Canes win another faceoff. Sekera goes down low, then got it back. Lyles a one-timer off a skate. Keith taken down in the corner, penalty. Carolina. And now the Hawks get the puck. Smith coming out. Ben Smith dropped it for Keith. Tried to center it. Smith. Why'd the whistle go? I'm not even sure they touched the puck. They certainly didn't have it. But anyway, it'll be 4 skaters aside.
Well, Eric Stahl's going to the box. Upends Duncan Keith. And right there, the stick on the leg area. And that's the same type of call that was made on Michael Hanzus prior to that on that last penalty to the Blackhawks. So 4-on-4 hockey. But the Hawks did a good job there, Pat, of killing off a good 12-15 seconds there to get that and use that maybe to their advantage. Hawks get a power play here.
Nash with 4 skaters aside. Ellie Nash rolled it into the corner. Jeff Skinner got away from Leddy, but couldn't get rid of a shot. Held in by Falk across to Harrison. Now Nash. Falk. Looking for a lane. Had to ring it around. Seabrook. Bothered by Nash. It's kicked back to Nick Leddy. Well, the Hawks get it into the offensive zone. Leddy with Regan heading for the net. Got the puck there, but Hudobin able to grab and hold.
Nice job there from Peter Regan. Just jumped on the ice. Got a good pass there from Brent Seabrook, and then move the puck, move yourself. He didn't stay to the outside, and he didn't get the puck back, but Nick Leddy did the right thing by getting it to the net. Such an important part of creating offense is after you move the puck, you just can't stay to the outside. You got to move yourself.
All right, the draw. Picked up by the Hurricanes. Harrison. Semin. Able to get the Hawks line. Now with a shot off the skate of Jalmerson. Jordan Stahl rings it around. Semin. His pass picked off. Well, the Kane Semin back in. Jalmerson thwarted that. Regan the other way to Taves. Peter Regan. Jonathan Taves. And the Hawks penalty over now. A short man advantage for the home team. And Duncan Keith will lead the lone rush. Hossa gets the line. Taves. Tanner Hossa, big save. Hudobin. Oh, Hossa got all of it. And Hudobin had the pads in the right spot. Keith. Little look to Sharp. There's the pass. Seabrook going back door. Then Keith lets it go. But boy, Hudobin never saw it. It was tipped up off the netting, out of play.
Well, Carolina in a slow change while shorthanded. Only 3 penalty killers out there, and Hossa gets a great chance. Hudobin's been real solid for Carolina here tonight.
As soon as they drop this puck, the Hurricane penalty will expire. And the draw was dropped unfairly. So they'll make sure that timekeeper Gary Steffenhagen holds the clock for an extra second or two when they put it in play. Now Randy. Waiting to do that for a long time. All right, the Canes get the draw, clear it. Lusty lifted ahead. Seabrook's pass gummed up by Falk. Now Hainsey. Put it across. Here they get it in. Gerby looks to center. Good stick there by Shaw. The back check. The puck is up and out of play with 7.5 gone by in the third. It's 3-2 Chicago on Jonathan Taves' shorthanded goal that put him in front. His 28th of the year.
Well, on Tuesday, the 25th of March, the Hawks will take on the Dallas Stars. The first 10,000 fans that enter the United Center will receive a Jonathan Taves t-shirt presented by DiGiorno Pizza. Visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com for ticket info. Well, that man right in the middle is Teuvo Teravainen. Recent first-round draft pick 2 seasons ago by the Blackhawks. In the mix, in the fold. Looking forward to seeing him put on a Blackhawk jersey for the first time in game action at some point in the next little while. Practice today for the first time.
All right, now Versteeg. Is checked by Lyles. Versteeg able to dig it loose, but his pass goes off a skate. Eric Stahl, or Jordan Stahl, lost it. Here's Taves centering. A couple of wingers out in front could not redirect. Taves a steal to Versteeg. Just hacked at it, and the Canes clear it the other way. Eric Stahl doesn't have any help, looking to buy some time, but handed it right to Oduya. Johnny it to you. Pressured in deep. Nash pries it loose for Carolina. Harrison's wrister he whiffed on. Hawks look to counterattack with a good stick by Harrison in the middle. They get back in. Here's the chance. Lindholm, good save by Crawford. As Elias Lindholm, just 19 years old, was their first pick a couple of years ago, and got a real good bid there.
Had another questionable change by the Blackhawks. Johnny O'Dewey is going here. Here's the puck. Watch what ends up happening. Turnover. It's going off. Now it comes back the other way. Now all of a sudden it's a quick developing 2-on-1. Good thing that rebound stayed to the left of Crawford, because if it goes to the right, a couple of slow changes by the Hawks here tonight.
Rundblad clearing it out. And the Hurricanes look to start back. Get it into the Hawk zone. Gerby's long wrister into the glove of Corey Crawford. Crawford leading into the action tonight. He's allowed 2 in the game. And any goalie that keeps the opponent to 2 or less, that's considered a good outing by virtually every expert. And Crawford's been able to do that 32 times out of the 50 appearances he's had so far this year, but maybe more importantly, 8 of the last 10. So he's been on a real nice stretch here for the Blackhawks. Now the Hurricanes, Lyles hoisting it. Bouncing puck, chase down. Eric Stahl took a whack at a bouncer. Crawford got his stick there as well. Now Jordan Stahl looks into the middle. Taves broke up the feed. Versteeg the other way. 2 against 2 into the zone. Wants Hossa. Jordan Stahl picked it off. Lyles missed on a pass. That's going to be icing Carolina. Blackhawk goals in the game from Patrick Sharp, Chris Versteeg, and Jonathan Taves. Taves is a shorty early in this period that came right after the Hawks had given up a power play goal against them. They were 2 men short. They got to be 1 man down, and Taves went down and scored in the same sequence. Hanzus finds Sharp. Pass picked off. Keith turned it over, but Skinner whiffed on it. But Skinner, good anticipation with the Hawks liking often to go to the middle. Here's a quick shot. Crawford stopped it, and it's cleared to center.
A real bad angle. That was a difficult stop from Crawford. He was on his way down, and a good thing it hit him before he was all the way down, because there was some room upstairs on Corey Crawford.
Now Falk. Put it across. Gerby into the zone. Gerby weaving to the middle. He had his pass stolen by Bolig. Regan tipped it deep. Falk on it. Hainsey bothered by Regan. Support there from Lotiano. The Canes get it out. And now they'll have to chase back. Kruger in deep. Is grabbed by Falk. Got away from him. Kruger now leaves it in the corner. Regan up the boards to an open Letty. He's going to tee it up for a long blast. That hit somebody in front of Khudobin never saw it. Rebound to the boards. Bolig to Kruger in deep. He's grabbed by Hainsey, but Bolig picked it up. Sent it. Hossa coming on a change. Hossa blasted it just wide. Now Bolig. Let it roll away. Lotiano needs help. He couldn't get it out. Falk takes over. Well, the Hawks peel off to change. Hainsey Moved it ahead. Eric Stahl couldn't pick it up. Taves did. That's missing Versteeg going all the way down, icing Chicago.
Got to make sure that you get those pucks out at your blue line and in at the far blue line. You heard Jamie Compon, Pat, tell us, Blackhawk assistant coach, right before the third period started, about the quickness of Carolina, how they press all the time. You got to force them to come 200 feet. You cannot turn pucks over at the far blue line, especially. Pucks got to get in, and they got to get out at the blue lines.
And how about his comment? I mean, I believe he said that they have done it better than any team the Hawks have seen this year. Sekera winds it around. Salmon cleared it. Here's Eric Stahl. Has to bring it around the boards. Salmon couldn't pick it up. Taves did to get it out.
Sekera, the defenseman, you talked about him earlier, Pat, having a career year since being acquired from the Buffalo Sabres. He's been up the ice the last 2 or 3 shifts. As a defenseman. He's been near the goal line or below it.
Here's Shaw battling his way in there. Sharp checked by Harrison. Now dug out. Shaw with a shot. Moved over with the left pad. Held in by Seabrook. Shaw in deep. Had it knocked off his stick by Belmore. And now the Canes get out of their end. A bank pass is in. Would have been an onside play, but Lindholm couldn't find it. And here's Duncan Keith. Sending Regan ahead. Seabrook will dump it. Okeanoff. Checked by Rundblad.
Play there by Rundblad. Keep that play alive there.
He came out with it, then Regan's long wrister deflected wide. Smith to the forehand. And the drop pass stolen away by the veteran Yuri Tlusty. Well, both teams change as Leddy goes back for the Hawks. Nick Leddy with an assist tonight, picked up his 6th point in the last 10 games he's played with that helper this evening.
Look out.
Close to a too many men scenario for the Hawks, but we play on. And it's clear to the corner. Eric Stahl dropped it back. Here's Sekera looking for a lane across. A long shot. Lyles off a leg. And Golig bounced it out of there. Hossa got checked along the boards. Alexander Semin the other way. Now 5 minutes to go in regulation time. 3-2 in favor of the Hawks. Here comes Nash, but Keith cut across on him, and puck hit Lindholm out up high, went out of play. So we're getting to the late stages of period 3. The Hawks up by 1. We're back just in time for the KFC Fan Cam. Another packed house here in the UC. Liking what they've seen so far, but still another 5 minutes to try to get through for the Hawks to pick up their 3rd victory in their last 4 starts. Regan tapped it ahead. Bolig arrived. And then Bolig grabbed by Justin Falk. And a penalty is going to be called against Falk. He got too much of him, and the whistle goes. And the power play coming up.
Oh, a huge opportunity here. As Chris Lee, the referee, catches Justin Falk.
Hawks power play, nothing out of 4 so far tonight. Keith got it off a face-off win from Taves, who got pressured by Belmore.
That's a good read there, boy. Taking away time and space. Won the face-off real clean, and Belmore was able to anticipate that play and shut it right down.
Taves for Seabrook. Hawks again go with 2 defensemen on the points with a late lead on the power play. Here's Versteeg for Hossa. Stripped of it by Sekera. Now Keith's going to keep it in. But his pass missed Taves. And the Canes will clear it the other way. Patrick Sharp missed Versteeg with a, or I should say Smith with a pass. The Hawks need to regroup with a minute left on their power play. Smith looking towards Sharp. He'll carry it into the zone. Sharp dropped it to Letty. Again, Sharp. His pass bouncing back to center ice.
Not much going on at all on this power play to this point. Still got 30 seconds. Get it in, set it up, create a chance. But to this point, not very good for the Hawks power play.
And they'll try to retrieve a dump in, but nothing happening there. As the Canes easily clear it.
Stahl was looking for a little breakaway there. As soon as Sekera got the puck, he took right off there, trying to get an odd man break.
A Regan steal for Bowling. Oh, and he couldn't find the puck at his feet. And the Canes fire it the other way. That's going to finish their penalty. So that Blackhawks power play extremely ineffective. The only thing that happened was they took 2 minutes off the clock. Now they're down to 2.5 remaining in regulation. Regan turns deep, trying to center. Nobody home there. Chalmerson put it back of the net. And Belmore up the board. And picked up by Brandon Bollig.
Chalmerson had pressure coming from either side. Knew the outlet. Bollig was there, and the Hawks were able to make a change.
Now they get in Lindholm. Pass picked off Hossa. Taves carries on. Taves weaving to the trailing Keith. He looked for Hossa's stick. Barely missed him. Taves able to shield nicely. Put it to Keith. A long wrist shot blocked. To the corner. Versteeg against Nash. It's put around the boards. Taken by Letty to Hossa. Hossa to Taves. Down to 1.5 minutes to go. Taves hanging on. Looks to center. Versteeg had us back to the goal, however. Hossa with a great shift here for the Taves line. Keeping the puck right where they want it, down in the offensive zone. It'll be tough to get the equalizer from there for the visitors.
Carolina, once you get this puck in, the goaltender will be on the bench for the extra attacker.
Simmons long pass. Jordan Stahl checked at the line. Hudobin wanted to get off, could not. Here's Sharp the other way. Shooting. Hudobin with the blocker. And we're in the final minute of regulation. Getting down to 45. Jordan Stahl check. Chalmerson takes over. Good work from Smith along the boards there. And now the crowd beginning to rise to their feet as the clock winds down here in regulation time. Goalie off. Dump in Carolina. 6 attackers for the Canes. Oduya checked by Semin. It's put up the boards, held in there. Lyles' centering attempt to flex to Sekera. He had a shot blocked by Ben Smith. Now Sekera again across to Lyles. His drive, that's blocked in front by Sharp. Rebound in behind, clock winding down. Smith to the boards. And one bid is blocked by Smith. Hawks win. Hawks win with a terrific finish, protecting Corey Crawford from any challenges. The Hawks go to 41, 15, and 15. We told you earlier about the Miller moment. We'll show you now. Jonathan Toews, which turned into the game-winning goal right after the Hawks had given up a two-man advantage power play goal to the Canes. On the same shorthanded situation, Toews to the backhand. That's the third final game-winning goal for the Chicago Blackhawks tonight.
Pat, you made mention of it. That last 90 seconds?
Maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah, right. I mean, it was textbook. Fresh people on the ice, kept it simple, won the board battles, and really never gave Carolina an opportunity to get into their zone. Carolina didn't get the puck into the Blackhawks zone until about 25 seconds were remaining in the game. And that ended up being really key, how they just killed the clock. Great job, great finish, huge win.
Well, the Hawks have won 3 of their last 4 games. They're 3-0-1, so 7 of the last 8 possible points. Here are the 3-star selections.
Patrick Sharp. The number 2 star of the game from Carolina, number 28, Alexander Seven. And the number 1 star of the game from the Blackhawks with his 28th goal of the season, number 19, Jonathan Toews. Please turn your attention to the Blackhawks bench where Luke Stuckmeyer's with tonight's number 1 star of the game, Jonathan Toews.
Jonathan, you guys had to grind that one out. Some adversity tonight. Are those the types of things you sometimes see in the playoffs as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think we still did a lot of good things, built off the game we had against St. Louis, which I think was our best game in a while. So couldn't find a way to open it up on the power play tonight. But other than that, I think we did a good job on the penalty kill and defensively as well.
Back-to-back wins. It's been a little while since you guys have gone on a real long run. Is that something you'd like to do before the end of the season here?
Well, you never worry about that. I think you just take it one game at a time. So we've had a few rough ones lately. Maybe that time of year to try and get those tougher games out of the way. And you know, we'll be playing our best hockey at the right time.
Congratulations on the win. Jonathan Toews, your number 1 star.
The captain with the game winner, while the Hawks were short.